Correct. I'm quite skeptical. Venturing into the world of gourmet dog biscuits and artisanal jams sounds more like a whimsical side project than a business strategy likely to carve out a significant market share. While Meghan's scandalous star power certainly draws attention, turning that into a sustainable, profitable business is another challenge altogether. Welcome back to my channel, where we not only discuss the facts but also delve into the unexpected. Today, let's continue our conversation about Harry and Meghan with lady who specializes in talking about Freya. Freya, thank you for staying to decode some more mysteries about the royal.
Nice to do it. Adam, it seems like there's never a shortage of topics to discuss when it comes to this couple.
As far as I know, Julie Burchill criticized Meghan Markle, calling her a two-bit hustler with delusions of adequacy. Following the Sussexes' departure from the royal family in 2020 and their subsequent ventures into the entertainment industry, their projects have seen mixed success. Their podcast with Spotify was canceled, and recent Netflix projects have not replicated the success of their 2022 documentary. Despite the initial popularity of Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, his criticisms of the royal family have drawn significant backlash. Exactly. I'd like to take a little deeper look at the deals that Harry and Meghan signed when they first started their new life in the U.S. These deals don't seem to have worked out as well as they hoped. Edward, what do you think caused these projects to not work out as well as they hoped?
Part of it may be that expectations were too high, and part of it may be that reality didn't live up to them. When you leave a big brand like the British royal family, you lose a huge amount of natural support and have to rebuild from scratch. The initial deals with Netflix and Spotify seemed like a big move, but it turns out that not every show can be as successful as its own episodes. In short, they don't have the capacity, they don't have the skills, they don't have the ability to do it well.
We're getting a pretty clear picture of the challenges Harry and Meghan have faced as they try to transition from the glamour of the royal family to the harsh realities of American showbiz. Are they overestimating their abilities?
Exactly. Think about it. When you're part of an empire with hundreds of years of history, like the British royal family, you can make a film about brushing your hair that people will watch. But when you're just a couple who've been scandalized by leaving that empire, it's a different story. Suddenly, you have to create value for yourself. And it's clear that Harry and Meghan overestimated their ability to do that. They tried to present themselves as creative content producers, but it turns out that making movies is not as easy as being a prince or princess. With Netflix and Spotify, they signed deals that were attractive on paper, but the paper never tells the whole story. The reality is that you can't sell a product on reputation alone. It needs substance.
That sounds like something they are lacking. Are they focusing too much on visuals rather than actual content?
Yes, they are so caught up in creating a glamorous image of an independent, free life that they forget that even in showbiz, content is king. You can have a perfect start with fame, but if you don't have anything to keep your audience engaged, you will quickly be forgotten. And that seems to be what is happening to them.
Clearly, Meghan and Harry took a risk by leaving the safety of the palace to conquer Hollywood. They haven't fallen off the wagon, but they've certainly stumbled. It's fascinating to watch a prince born into the lap of royalty now try to find their place in a world where talent and creativity are the defining factors. Sometimes life isn't an uninvited tea party. It's a brutal audition where no one is willing to applaud you if you don't deserve it.
I don't think it's risky. It comes from ambition and stupidity, and they certainly have to pay for their mistakes. Adam, do you think Harry and Meghan's show is running out of steam?
Maybe. The expiration date is like yogurt left in the fridge for too long. At first, you find them sweet and refreshing, but after a while, you notice things starting to taste sour. Harry's podcast has been pulled, and there's no sign of any new projects on Netflix, even though Harry is still a bestseller with his memoir. Oh no! It's just a reputation, but in reality, Harry's book is the fastest-selling, yet I'll know no one who has purchased or read this book. But then these people could tell us anything. For one, do not believe Spare had high book sales or was the fastest-selling.
And now, Harry is the author of the best-selling nonfiction book of all time. Ironic if you think about it. A man who is supposed to protect privacy makes a living selling privacy.
Irony Sussex is the term I use to describe Meghan Markle's paradoxical life, from Hollywood actress to member of the British royal family, and finally to a figure who seeks fame at all costs. Initially, Meghan was not a prominent fashion icon or a key figure in fashion events, but her marriage to Prince Harry thrust her into the global spotlight, where her every move and fashion choice was closely watched. Ironically, when you become famous for being famous, you begin to lose your authenticity and connection with the public. Meghan, who was once friends with celebrities like Oprah and the Beckhams, now finds herself isolated, no longer welcome in those elite circles. This not only weakens her support network, but also makes her efforts to reinvent her image more difficult than ever. In addition, the rejection of new stars like Taylor Swift, who seems to distance herself from being associated with Meghan, only underscores that, in the world of fame and celebrity, friendships can quickly become a liability. On the other hand, it also makes clear that, in the world of fame and celebrity, friendships can quickly change based on a person's current image and status. Meghan now faces the challenge of rebuilding her image and reputation in a new context, where she is no longer supported by her royal title and must fend for herself in the entertainment industry and her personal brand. This is a valuable lesson in the fickle and changing nature of fame and the folly of being too ambitious. People only succeed when they know who they are and have a clear direction and plan, knowing how to best utilize their strengths and weaknesses. Meghan has none of these.
After all the trouble they caused the royal family, everyone knows that their relationship with the royal family is not very harmonious. Harry is preparing for a long trip to England in 2027. But Meghan seems not to be going with him. What do you think about that?
I think it's like an old movie that's been played over and over again. People are used to it, and the novelty of it has worn off. Tax-funded security is also a hot topic, and Harry has said he can't bring his family to the UK because of safety concerns. The story just keeps repeating itself, without wanting to sound too harsh. Truly a tired old trick dog and pony show. Invictus Games needs to cut ties with Harry and Meghan, using them for legitimacy, pretty much shunned by high society, the royal family, and the A-listers, one would think. And for pretty good reasons. Harry is one of the most privileged men of any generation, born with a king-sized silver spoon in his gob and a massive chip on his shoulder, because he was spare, despite every privilege and door being open to him that money and high connections could provide. Hitched to a previously unknown D-list of cable TV actresses. My neighbor compares this toxic duo to Aunt Sally and Wurzel Gummidge at the Scarecrow Hop. Montecito Mansion could house hundreds of private jets, with them setting up court as a royal family Americana but lacking grace and without any class or substance. A career trashing the royal family. Dozens of toxic stories about them. How would any business or A-lister want to align themselves with such crass people? All the years spent in the royal family with everyone bowing and running for his needs made Harry pretty much convinced of his absolute superiority over other people and probably brought up to believe that he is the center of the universe and to be treated accordingly. Why would his mindset ever accept the reality that for most, he looks like an overindulged, spoiled man-child with a low IQ? What Meghan wants, she gets, says all there is to say about excess privilege, wealth, and how it can inflate one's ego, especially when shacked up with a fame-chaser D-lister.
Meghan, in particular, says she's been busy with her new lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, and an upcoming cooking show. Do you think she'll be able to turn dog biscuits and strawberry jam into gold?
Oh, undoubtedly. Meghan's magical touch could transform even the humblest dog biscuit and the most ordinary jar of strawberry jam into pure gold. At least, that's the narrative hopeful headlines might spin. It's almost as if she's taking a leaf out of the alchemist's book, attempting to spin everyday pantry items into a fortune. With her new lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard, she's not just aiming to spice up your kitchen, but perhaps dreaming of turning these culinary sidelines into the main course of her celebrity chef aspirations. In the grand world of celebrity brands, where fame attempts to ferment like fine wine, Meghan's endeavors might just set a new standard, whether it's a gold standard or a fool's gold. remains to be seen. One could wonder if the next season's trendsetters will be paparazzi photos featuring the elite of Hollywood walking their pooches, nibbling on Meghan's gourmet dog biscuits. As for the strawberry jam, will it spread its way into the Michelin-starred menus or just stick to the sides of afternoon tea settings in the more humble households? Only time will tell if these concoctions will be the recipe for success or just another blend in the vast celebrity brand smoothie. Sometimes, all you need is a few good cookies to get you back in the game. But it all depends on whether the public is willing to swallow these new products. But I believe that it is likely a disaster in human cuisine.
Meaning you don't believe she will succeed in this career move, right?
Correct. I'm quite skeptical. Venturing into the world of gourmet dog biscuits and artisanal jams sounds more like a whimsical side project than a business strategy likely to carve out a significant market share. While Meghan's scandalous star power certainly draws attention, turning that into a sustainable, profitable business is another challenge altogether. It's not uncommon for celebrity-led ventures to generate initial buzz, but the true test is in longevity and consumer buy-in. Will people consistently choose strawberry jam from Meghan's line over their longtime favorites? It's a tough market, and success in such niches often requires more than just a famous face. In particular, regardless of whether her product is good or not, just hearing the name Meghan makes people feel discouraged and hate her. So her product has absolutely no prospect. The proof is that this brand has been launched for a while, but it has not even been opened for sale, except for the 50 jars of jam Meghan gave away.
It's not hard to understand why people hate her so much, right? Harry is no exception.
Harry makes a career telling on his family, sharing the most intimate detail of anyone he thinks he can monetize, while at the same time, said the press, hounded his mom or himself, and he wants his privacy. The man is a living contradiction, but most of all, paid millions for his brand. Pseudo-woke Carbonico BS stays at 8K a night. London hotels. While it was reported that 10% of Brits have less than 25 to 35 left in their bank at month end, most of us can't afford to fly, so H uses up our spare carbon footprint that we don't need. If they could, Harry and Meghan probably would ban the free press writing about them and also demand to be IPP with free public-funded security. It was suggested that Omid Scobie should emigrate and camp out at the bottom of Harry and Meghan's garden, like a little gnome where they can blow a dog whistle and he can run up to the house double-quick and listen dewy-eyed to the PAP that rolls out of Meghan Markle's gob and take dictation on all Harry and Meghan's complaints and victim statements. Or he could squat at the bottom of their bed in a dog's basket. The better to jump up quickly and make notes when yet another hard luck story is being prepared for one of the 18 articles per day. Scobie seems to be their conscience, taking the gospel according to Harry and Meghan as being divine and inspirational truth, and can clap his hands when Harry plays his Nigerian folk dance shuffle music, bobbing and swaying his bonce side to side, doing a little shuffle like he did in Nigeria.
Meaning you don't believe she will succeed in this career move, right?
Correct. Stepping into the highly competitive world of lifestyle brands and gourmet products with items like dog biscuits and strawberry jam might not just be ambitious, it could be overly optimistic. Realistically, the success of such products relies not only on quality, but also on unique positioning in the market. And here's the critical issue. Despite Meghan's fame and following, leveraging celebrity status into a sustainable, profitable brand in a market saturated with both artisanal products and celebrity-endorsed goods is incredibly challenging. Historically, many celebrity-led business ventures have struggled to maintain momentum after the initial curiosity fades. Consumers are savvy. They seek authenticity and quality, especially in the food and lifestyle domain. The novelty of buying a product associated with a celebrity might attract initial sales, but long-term success depends on the product's intrinsic value and competitive pricing, areas where many celebrity brands fail to deliver consistently. Furthermore, the notion of turning everyday items like dog biscuits and jams into a luxury or must-have product often requires a market disruption or a significant value proposition, which seems missing here. The gap between celebrity enthusiasm and market reality can be vast, and without a solid business strategy that goes beyond the allure of fame, Meghan's venture into these waters is likely to face significant hurdles, potentially culminating in its inability to achieve lasting success.
The funniest thing is that Meghan keeps screaming that she's unsafe in the UK, but in reality, it's her and Harry who are putting royal family in danger.
Well, that statement just about sums Rachel up, doesn't it? As for concerns over security, why would she require greater protection here than she gets in the US? There would be more reason to be concerned if the fear was warranted, which it isn't. It does appear that some noise and threats have increased since our illustrious, world-renowned aviator Henry bragged about his exploits in Afghanistan as a chess player. It's therefore fair to assume it is he alone that has put his family at risk and no one else. Despite this, the UK government has already confirmed they will provide risk-based coverage for him, his wife, and the kids, so he has nothing to worry about. Thousands of dollars are spent on clothes and private jets, while everyone else is working all hours, maybe in customer-facing roles in retail, in a factory, or spending hours on the phones in sales or driving jobs with no toilet facilities and exposed to the elements. Or maybe an ambulance crew working 24/7 354 shifts under extreme stress, while the two grifters are on permanent vacation, spending more in a week than people earn in a year, and they still think Brits want to queue up and wave at them if they turn up. Just their grinning pics posted everywhere and all about what they want and what they deserve. Has anyone trashed the royal family as much as this man? Lived a life of such absolute wealth and privilege, and then played the victim. What was his allowance when he was in the royal family? $1 million a year from his dad and living in a royal grace and favor property? Hardly struggling to pay bills. Gas and electricity like the public, is it? All you see is this toxic pair jetting around on holiday and chasing fame. There is a difference between fame and notoriety. They either don't seem to understand that, or more probably don't care.
What is worth mentioning here, Julie Burchill criticized Meghan Markle, calling her a two-bit hustler with delusions of adequacy. A two-bit hustler is describing someone else as a two-bit hustler. Anyway, don't normally like Julie Burchill, but this is an excellent appraisal of Meghan of delusion. It's doubtful Meghan's diaries contain much genuine and interesting notes to generate a book, judging by her brief acquaintance and interactions with senior royals. She never managed to break into Princess Catherine's inner circle of friends. Prince William gave her short shift soon after her marriage, and the late Queen was not someone you dropped in on for coffee and gossip. She will also need to be wary. With Prince William now being lauded as the disciplinarian in the family, she may find he is not so willing to allow her lies to go unchallenged.
No. I'm so glad there are a few heroes in the media like Julie Burchill, Maureen Callahan, Bill Simmons, and it seems also Ulrike from ZDF, Harkle's documentary, etc., who are not afraid of the Harkles and ignore their propaganda. Now we need a channel or journalist who will surprise them with not asking the Harkles what they want the journalist to ask them, but ask the Harkles in a live show what is needed to honor the truth. To stop the Harkles from, without any consequences, being able to damage the royal family, monarchy, and UK citizens year after year out of revenge and arrogance. The truth. That's what it all should be all about when people spew propaganda calling it their truth. Meghan's plans to be the fairy tale princess who tells royalty how things should be done backfired spectacularly. She never figured out that for most people, herself included, significant, meaningful effort is required in most life endeavors. Lazy and delusional are two of the nicest descriptors which I would use to describe Meghan. Of course, Meghan will never be able to compare with Catherine.
I completely agree with you. Adam, if the name fits, we all know Meghan is a two-bit hustler and that she does have delusions of grandeur she cannot carry off. The Sussex name carries no significance or value all the time. Harry has her clamped to him like a limpet. Once he comes to his senses, and he will come to his senses eventually, and realizes she's the one dragging them down, and he ditches her, his value and significance will go through the roof, and he'll likely be welcomed back into the royal fold with open arms. His debt to the British people, however, may take a little longer to pay off. So, to describe Meghan in a nutshell, what would you say?
She lacks diplomacy. She doesn't know how to handle adversities and criticism. no accountability, and lacks coping skills. She just wants to have a reputation of being rich and glamorous. But everyone knows she's got major mental and personality disorders issues. Meghan will never make it past being a representative, never a senator or above. She'll cozy up to Harry to get some political appointment. Maybe she can be in charge of reforming women from Hollywood and Vine or Yacht Haven Grande. Saint Thomas V. If anyone agrees with my comment, can they leave comment number 1, or if they disagree, can they leave comment number 0? Thank you very much for watching our videos. Don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. It's even better when I read your thoughts on this discussion in the comments section. Now, although I don't want to, I still have to say goodbye and see you all in the next videos.
Thank you very much. Goodbye and see you again.